We have new updates in the David and Celeste case. So if you look here, it says more evidence has surfaced of Celeste Rivas' troubled home life. So they were called to her house 11 times in just 1 year.
Everyone is starting to be left speechless after it's being reported that David is not a suspect for the passing of Celeste Rivas. Yes, you 100% heard me correctly. Up at the top, this comes from Rolling Stone. It states that the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has not yet determined the cause and manner of Miss Rivas Hernandez passing. As such, it remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body.
David's manager has broken his silence about Celeste Rivas Hernandez. David's manager, Josh Marshall, has broken his silence in a comment here on TikTok, which have a lot of people speculating, is this even Josh's real account? Because why would he break his silence here on TikTok?
David's manager, Josh Marshall, is finally breaking his silence, and it's clear he wants no part of this mess. He's distancing himself fast, and honestly, I get it. I mean, think about it. You were managing an artist accused of being in a long-term relationship with a minor, and now that same artist is being tied to something way darker.
It's controversial of kids.
Yeah, that's not a good look at all. Josh's statement didn't come right after Celeste's death, and it didn't even come when David got canceled. Nope, it only came after someone on TikTok, a user named Girltown, dropped a bombshell video. She claimed that Josh received an email back in February 2024 about Celeste's missing person report. What makes it even crazier is that she also said Josh and David were actually roommates. Now let's pause there for a second. According to reports from the Daily Mail, Josh had to move his and David's stuff out of the house. And if that's true, doesn't that mean they were living together? Like, make it make sense? Why would it be worded that way if they weren't sharing the place? This whole thing just keeps getting weirder by the minute. So before we look at the actual TikTok Josh commented on, here's what he said under the post. Josh wrote, "This video is false and the person is misinformed. This is the only time I'll speak on this matter for now. That's it." One short, dry comment. But come on, who handles a serious situation like this in a TikTok comment section? That's wild. He also added, "This has been a tough time for my family as well, as I'm a father of 3 children. But here's the thing. If he's really innocent like he says, why is this hitting him so hard? Why sound so defensive right away?" Then he finishes with, "I received no emails and I'm no one's roommate. I live full-time at home with my wife and kids. It's all just too neat, too polished, like he's trying a little too hard to shut this down before more people start asking questions." Josh kept talking, and this time he tried to sound even more innocent. He said, "My daughter's 14, and this news is affecting so many lives. I've never received any emails, had zero knowledge of anything, and I don't live in California. I work remotely 95% of the time and barely interact with most of my clients. David has other people handling him day to day, not me." Okay, hold up. If that's true, then who exactly is managing David now? Because every report out there still lists Josh Marshall as the manager. If you're saying it's not you, Josh, name them. Let us know who's really behind the scenes. Comment below if any of you know, because I'm curious who's pulling the strings while he's out here trying to play the innocent bystander. He goes on to say, "This news is tragic for so many and for her family. I hope the proper authorities get to the bottom of it soon." Sure, but then he adds, "I'm with my family helping them emotionally get through the news of this tragedy." Wait, what? Why would his family be emotionally shaken if, according to him, he barely interacted with David? Like, seriously, what are we missing here? Think about it. If you hardly talk to your client, how is your 14-year-old daughter so affected that you've got to help your family get through the news? The math isn't mathing. Unless maybe his kids were openly talking about knowing David at school, and now that everything blew up, the family's catching some serious side-eye from other parents. Which, to be fair, isn't okay, because she's just a kid. but it really makes you wonder how deep Josh's ties to David actually go.
Also noticing that the username of this account that commented all of this was changed yesterday, but I can in fact confirm that this is actually Josh Marshall's account. Josh Marshall is married and he does have children, and this is his wife here on TikTok, Follow D. You can see the last post that she posted was a video of her and her husband, Josh Marshall, and she follows this account that broke their silence here on TikTok in the comments. Josh Marshall came on TikTok to deny allegations against him because the private investigator Stephen Fisher put out information that he allegedly saw some email from Celeste's family to Josh Marshall in 2024 of Celeste being a runaway minor because they thought that she was with David.
And here's the kicker. Josh insists he doesn't live in California, yet his name is on the lease for David's luxury home, a place reportedly costing around $20,000 a month. That's not pocket change. So explain that, Josh. You're saying you're not involved, but you signed off on a whole mansion for this man? Something's definitely not adding up here. Comment below, because this part right here gets even wilder. So, this TikTok user, Girltown, she's been digging deep, and I gotta give her credit for that. Out of all the noise online, why that video? And seriously, where's that email? If Josh says it never existed, then somebody's lying because those claims didn't come out of thin air.
Family friend of Celeste Rivas Hernandez sent an email to Josh Marshall, who is David's manager and roommate, back in 2024, February 2024. And in the email was the missing persons report of Celeste and all of her information. And it said, we know Celeste is living with you guys. She needs to return home.
Well, I would say, where's that email? Where's that email? Also, her makeup is so nice, right?
One day later, Celeste returned home. And then a month after that, she went back to living with David and his roommate, Josh Marshall. So Josh Marshall was well aware of Celeste Rivas Hernandez's age and that she was a missing child.
Oh, and side note, shout out to Girltown's makeup because she looked flawless while dropping straight receipts. But hold up, that wasn't Josh's only statement. He also posted another one saying, "This is for anyone who has spread misinformation that greatly affects myself and my family without regard for the facts. I hope the creator of this video pins my comment and corrects what she said." Then he went ahead and tagged a whole bunch of random TikTokers like he was starting a mini war. Honestly, thank you, Josh. That's a perfect list of creators to check out. Follow, follow, follow. Click, click, click. But what really gets me is why he decided to speak only on TikTok instead of through real media. No statement to the press, no legal rep, nothing from the record label, just some comments under a viral post. Meanwhile, David hasn't said a word. It's like everyone's staying silent, hoping this just blows over. But it's only making people more suspicious. And let's be real. Ever since that autopsy report dropped, something has felt off. Because how can a cause of death be deferred when the situation was that severe? Like, how do you not have answers yet when there was clear evidence something terrible happened? The official story doesn't make sense, and it feels like the deeper this goes, the more twisted it gets.
Everyone is starting to be left speechless after it's being reported that David is not a suspect for the passing of Celeste Rivas. Yes, you 100% heard me correctly. Up at the top, this comes from Rolling Stone. It states that the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has not yet determined the cause and manner of Miss Rivas Hernandez passing. As such, it remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body, which essentially means that because they have not determined how Celeste has passed away, there is like no way of them having a suspect in mind at all. At the bottom, there's also a statement from LAPD saying that they are thoroughly examining every aspect of the case to uncover the truth and seek justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez and her family. Listen, this doesn't make any sense to me at all. I don't know how David is not a suspect, let alone not the prime suspect in this entire situation. We've seen so much evidence pointing towards David since the beginning of this entire situation, but I guess there's more to what I don't even know. It doesn't make sense. I can't make any sense of it at all, but I'm curious to know your thoughts about all this.
This part right here is heavy, and honestly, it's hard to even talk about without feeling a chill. The report mentioned that the extreme condition of Celeste's remains created a high chance of an inconclusive autopsy, which makes things way more complicated. When that happens, prosecutors can't rely on hard evidence. They're forced to build risky circumstantial cases that are hard to win in court. That's terrifying. Let's be real. Almost everyone agrees at this point that David and Celeste were in some kind of relationship. That much is clear. But according to the forensic experts, her remains weren't just decomposed, they were dismembered and found inside David's Tesla. 11 whole days in that August Los Angeles heat? That's brutal. Temperatures that high destroy critical forensic evidence fast, and it makes the entire investigation a nightmare to piece together. And then it gets even more disturbing. The report described things in graphic detail, saying internal organs and soft tissues had broken down to the point where even toxicology tests might be useless. Her body was down to just 71 pounds, suggesting severe decomposition or possible wasting over time. It's gut-wrenching to even read that. You can't help but feel heartbreak for what this young woman went through. If the cause of death ends up being labeled undetermined, prosecutors will have to rely completely on circumstantial evidence. Things like the car, their connection, and witness statements. And here's the scary part. David has top-tier lawyers, the kind who know exactly how to spin that uncertainty. If there's no clear medical ruling, they'll argue there's no proof of a crime. It's a loophole that could let him walk away free. And there's more! A Reddit user pointed out something wild during a TMZ livestream. Apparently, one of the hosts hinted they had off-camera info about 2 separate theories tied to Celeste and David's situation. Whatever that was, it got so tense on air that it seemed like TMZ was holding back something major. What are they not telling us? Some people online are convinced, and I've got to say allegedly here, that TMZ might know more than what they're sharing. And honestly, judging by their reactions on air, I'm starting to wonder too. The way they've been reporting on David lately feels off. Instead of digging into him, they've been blasting out old clips of Celeste, videos of her arguing with neighbors, moments that make her look bad. And she's not even here to defend herself anymore. It's like they're building a one-sided narrative, and it's honestly disturbing to watch.
For a defense attorney. Totally. And so I just think when we ultimately are told, at least what prosecutors believe the theory is on how the body ended up in the car, we're going to say, oh my God, it's going to be a wild story.
I got take off camera. I got theories. 2 theories I can substantiate with evidence.
Yeah, for a lot. Yeah, he's got evidence yet, I can't say.
Well, okay,
why are you holding on to evidence?
You don't want... It's
You're
evidence
calling
that...
bullshit because I'm calling bullshit.
You don't want me to say it because
No, we
it's
don't.
sensitive.
You just asked me what the theory is, dude. You just
Yeah, but
literally
you-
asked me.
he's excited to
share his theory.
But you didn't release information that we have. I'm going off information we have that the public doesn't.
You know what, man? We should have left well enough alone.
Why are you not sharing it with us?
Yeah, Charlie.
We as in TMZ.
Has Jackson shared information on this story that we've been working on?
Oh my
David?
God.
No, he has not.
Is there something? Is it? Am I talking to like brick walls right now?
Has Jackson shared information with you?
Jackson, you're standing here
On
with all the
David,
reports.
he apparently has
This is your time to
critical
share.
what he's
information.
saying.
TMZ teased having 2 substantiated theories with evidence during that live stream, and then suddenly, silence. Now they're acting like none of that exists. Maybe someone stepped in, maybe they're getting their info from the wrong person, or maybe they're just protecting somebody powerful. Who knows? And let's not forget Harvey Levin's reaction.
Don't push him. Don't push him, because he's already said more than he should.
Yeah.
He's gonna say something. Just move on.
Team player, right?
People noticed he looked straight up angry during that segment. Why? Well, Harvey is reportedly close to Blair Beck. And yes, that's the very same lawyer David hired. If that's true, it changes everything. People online are saying maybe David's team is paying for favorable coverage, and Harvey's just trying not to let that paycheck slip away. Again, this is what's floating around online, but it's not hard to see why folks are suspicious. At the end of the day, though, it's wild that TMZ hasn't done any real deep dive stories on David himself. Why only Celeste? Why not put a spotlight on the one person at the center of the investigation who's still alive? It's starting to feel like there's a bigger game being played behind the scenes, and the public's not being told the whole truth. TMZ keeps digging up old clips and interviews of Celeste, posting footage of her instead of actually focusing on David. The only thing they've managed to do is talk to a couple of his friends, and even then the info was weak at best. They reported that his friends thought she was of age, but come on, when was the last time any of them actually saw Celeste with David? Did they even break up before she went missing? And if so, when was the last time she was at his house? All those key details are missing, and it feels like somebody's hiding a whole lot. And then there's the cameraman situation, the one who basically snitched on them. If he really exposed something going on behind the scenes, was he maybe on David's payroll too? Because that would change everything. Imagine the fallout if it turns out people working on this coverage were actually getting paid off.
Home is where David was living, although he does not own the home. LAPD investigators served a search warrant here last night, collecting evidence. Right now, however, this is only being called a death investigation and not a homicide, and we're told that is because the LA County Medical Examiner's Office is still working to determine how exactly this teen girl died. This video shows crime scene investigators carrying out a laptop and other items from this home on Doheny Place as possible evidence. Police remaining very tight-lipped about the investigation. One neighbor we spoke to remembers seeing that distinct Tesla for a while. First, parked in front of the house police searched, and then at two different spots along the street.
It's a little weird to see a car that I haven't seen here for a long time. Had a big dent on it, had a Texas plate on it, so all a little.
Breaking news, authorities now searching David's home, and some crazy new details have been released. So last night, a swarm of officers was seen searching the Hollywood Hills home where the Tesla registered to David was originally towed from. And people are saying this is obviously David's home because he's literally posted videos and TikToks from inside, and there was a red Tesla found in the garage. They seized a computer and other items, but haven't revealed anything else. They also revealed that Celeste was not found complete. They found a head, a torso, and other limbs, and it's unclear whether all of her was even there. They also leaked a song by David titled Celeste, where he mentions her name 2 times, says he loves her and he's missing her so much. Not to mention his hit song Romantic H was released on September 7th, which is Celeste's birthday, where he says, "In the back of my mind, you died. I didn't even cry, not a single tear, and I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive." And then says, you, and didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. Rest in peace to Celeste. Let me know what you guys think, and as anything comes out, I'll keep you guys updated.
That would be huge trouble. I'm telling you, none of this adds up. That's why I had to drop this quick update for you guys. I'm so invested in this case now, and it's honestly baffling why we haven't seen an arrest, a clear update, or even a proper statement from anyone close to David. Is this normal? Because it doesn't feel normal at all. Something's definitely off here, especially if the media is keeping pieces of the puzzle away from the public. You know what's even more suspicious? The way every single person connected to David has suddenly gone quiet. Not just his manager, Josh. We're talking producers, collaborators, even people who used to post him nonstop on social media. It's like they all disappeared overnight. Usually when someone's innocent, their circle comes out to defend them, right? But this time, total silence. That says a lot. A source online even claimed that David's PR team wiped his socials right before police searched his property. Every photo, every tag involving Celeste, gone. Like someone hit delete on an entire chapter of his life. If that's not damage control, I don't know what is. What's wild, though, is that fans noticed the timing lined up perfectly with when reporters first started asking questions about Celeste's last location. Coincidence? I don't think so. And here's another thing. Neighbors from the area have been whispering about late-night activity at that house after Celeste was last seen. People reported strange lights, loud noises, and a car that pulled in around 3 a.m. but never came out again. Authorities haven't confirmed anything, but these details keep popping up in Reddit threads and online forums that were tracking the timeline. Too many coincidences to ignore. Then there's the whole lease situation still hanging in the air. Josh keeps saying he didn't live there, but new documents show the lease renewal was approved through his business email. If he's claiming he barely had contact with David, why would his company be signing off on such a massive property expense? It doesn't add up, and it feels like there's way more involvement behind the scenes than anyone's admitting. The deeper this goes, the more people start looking over their shoulders. Everyone who's touched this story, from reporters to influencers, says they've been getting DMs telling them to drop it. What are they so desperate to keep hidden? At this point, it's not just a story anymore. It's a full-on conversation about journalistic integrity. Like, where's the line between protecting reputations and telling the truth? Because if the media's job is to inform, then why does it feel like they're covering for the people with the most power? There's too much selective reporting, too many missing details, and not enough accountability. It's time people start asking who benefits from keeping this story quiet. Every new piece of info that surfaces about David, Josh, or anyone tied to Celeste's case just keeps twisting deeper. The timelines don't line up. The silence from insiders keeps getting louder, and fans aren't backing down. People are demanding justice, and rightfully so. Because at the end of the day, a young woman lost her life, and the world deserves clear answers, not PR statements and deleted posts. And you can feel it online. The energy is shifting. More creators are stepping up, digging through records, and refusing to be intimidated. Every time someone tries to shut this down, 10 more people start asking questions. It's like the truth keeps fighting its way back up no matter how many times they try to bury it. Something's going to break soon, and when it does, it's going to shake things up. So, what do you think? Is the media intentionally protecting David, or are they just scared to report what's really happening behind closed doors? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everything you guys say. Let's keep this conversation going because the more people talking, the harder it is for them to hide the truth. Justice for Celeste, always. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. I'll be following this story until we get real answers. Hopefully, the next title says he's finally arrested. And if you want to dive deeper into more wild celebrity drama, click the next video you'll see on the screen. Trust me, it's another one you don't want to miss. See you soon.